Multi-exclusive dimensional being Kai with another exclusive. Today's video is going to be about adultery. Adultery in the Bible. Now, what is adultery? Now, adultery is someone marrying someone else's daughter and wife. I mean, husband and wife. So, of course, everybody does this consciously, subconsciously, or unconsciously on all three spectrums, on all three forms of life. And of course, life spelled backwards is evil. So it's not a circumstance or situation as to where people are not like aware of these things, but of course, you are also being forced to do these things, whether you know it or whether you don't know it. So either way, it don't matter what scale or spectrum it plays upon. This is what people, places, and things is doing on a day-to-day basis. And they got to understand and understand that there's always a consequence for your motherfucking actions. So, however you take it, however you apply it, just know what you're paying attention to, what you're paying for, is what you're going to basically receive, no matter how it plays out, on a positive scale, on a negative scale, or things can get very overwhelming. Things can get very chaotic, and of course, to create destruction and form circumstances and situations where regret plays into play, guilt plays into play, worriness plays into play, and of course, this is what we are all experiencing in some way, shape, or form. So, when we're talking about adultery in the Bible, see, the Bible is basically telling you what it means and what it are the consequences for it. But when you're looking at adultery in general, let's play it from the Bible perspective for a little bit. Now, adultery from the Bible means that if you are already married, whether you married with someone or with yourself, but we're going to get there. If you married to someone, as into where you are a husband and you have a wife, marrying someone else's husband or wife, or being married, and by pushing your way out there towards someone else's relationship, someone else's problems, means that you are creating adultery, which means that you're already in a relationship. So by you going out your way to pretty much fulfill and getting into your desires, that's putting you at a circumstance situation as to where now you in the wrong. Now you feel guilty. Now you worrying. Now you gotta also understand and understand that why are you feeling guilty? You have to question these thoughts, these feelings, these emotions, because you gotta understand and understand that once you're in a program, once you're in a religion, redoing reincarnation, redoing something on a day-to-day routine. Now, what is hell? Hell is routine pattern, stagnation, not moving above the waters, being caught into bacteria, being caught into dirt, being caught into a fucking hell cage. And of course, so if you allow these things to keep playing out into your existence, this is what you create for yourself, because you're not getting out of that feeling and emotion, that vibration of these concepts. And when we're talking about God, there's many gods in this world. We are all gods. We are all goddesses. So if you allow someone else, which is a spirit in the body, to take your mind, to take your power and formulate it towards they made up rules or laws, then you pretty much, that's on you. You fucked up. You allow someone to take your power away. God, which is the spirit, the unseen, it is the existence, gave you imagination, creativity, and belief. Gave you these three powers, which you are able to create anything with all these three powers. So if you just out here giving your three powers to other spirits that are other gods and goddesses, knowing that you're already a god and you can create your own shit, That's where you fuck up, and that's where you go through trials and tribulations by leading by the pack, by being a sheep, by being weak, by being soft, by being sloppy, just like this motherfucking vaccine that you about to motherfucking take. The same spirits that been running this world for what, almost 2,000 years, are the same spirits that created your Bible, that created your religion, created your schools, created the sports that you watch and entertain, created the news that you see on TV, and also these are motherfuckers that supposedly killed your Jesus Christ figure that you worship, which is just the Son. And of course, we are all Jesus Christ's. But of course, when you go against the laws, their principles, their religion, they see that you are enemy. Just like how you have certain celebrities in the game or in the business. Michael Jackson, for instance, he went against their shit. What happened? He died. He got crucified. Killed his ass. Now let's take that. Now let's go back into adultery because we were swifting off. Now when we're talking about adultery, of course, they in the Bible it says, "Oh, by the way, if you are married to somebody, then of course, if you go out there and marry somebody else or have sex with someone else, that's you joining other people and of course creating more energies." Now the Bible left this out because at the end of the day, you could be married by yourself, which means you can have your own mind, which is your husband. You can have your own wife, which is your feelings and emotions as a man, without being in a relationship. Now listen, if you going out here marrying your mind and your feelings and emotions, which is your husband and your wife, with somebody else's problems, somebody else's circumstances and situations, then that's called adultery because you're marrying your mind and your feelings and emotions, which is your husband is your mind, and your feelings and emotions it will be your wife. If you're going out there marrying other people's problems, getting into the bullshit, you're gonna create, um, the what's the word, the rapture in your life. You're gonna create their rapture in your life because you're giving your time and your attention to this shit. So this is what you're creating in your life. Also to the point where even if it's the wife, if the wife out here being adultery, she ain't got no man, but she out here marrying somebody else's man and problems by having communication or sex with them. This is what they're creating into their life. Now take this to a higher, big scale. All the religious people are creating adultery at the moment, or they're already into adultery by creating their ideas, their feelings and emotions, and putting it into religion. So think about all the circumstances and situations and people that experience religious perspectives into the Bibles. For instance, Jesus Christ. What happened? He got crucified, death, suffering, blood. For me, this is like a vampire perspective that you're experiencing. So, being that you committed adultery by marrying Jesus Christ, energy, his problems, what you're doing now, you're creating a frame, a mind, a mentality, and you're bringing that into your life. You're being possessed. That's what the fuck you're doing. So, if you understand and understand what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, you would know that, okay, boom, you need to get yourself out of that circumstance situation. Because the more you get stuck and relied to a routine and pattern of worshiping these idols and shit, worshiping these demons, you only just gonna create heavy puddles that you're gonna keep swimming into, and you're gonna keep burning in motherfucking hell. Just like when the movie Tales from the Hood, where the pastor was telling these guys about their stories. They was in the church. What happened? They was dancing and shit when the fire came on. So what happens when your ass is at church dancing when the fire is on your ass burning in motherfucking hell? But see, you don't know that shit because you don't know thyself. You don't see what's going on behind the scenes or behind the veil and shit. The veil hasn't been lifted up upon your eyes, but the veil should be probably like lifting up on your eyes, and for you to realize with your real eye that this is an illusion you in, and of course you're being mind fucked to basically be drained by these demons, and they're gonna be out here drinking your spirit. So for me, every time you on your knees praying and shit to spirits outside of you, because remember your spirit, your soul is within you, your God is within you. Feel me? So if you out here giving your power away to these motherfuckers sucking dick by holding a dick in your hand, praising motherfuckers, then what you're doing is you're creating the hell for you. You're putting yourself in a spiral. And of course, you're putting yourself in a circumstance situation by being boxed in, and you allow motherfuckers to take over your mind fuck you, play with you, feel me? And of course, drink your spirit. It's like worshiping. You're worshiping something. Worship means worship. You're going to war for something. So if somebody don't agree to your religion or your fucking text, you're gonna feel the need to oppose your ideas or get into arguments with them or try to fucking put them in an uncomfortable situation. Now that's being a fucking demon, because of course you putting yourself into a desire, a lust for someone else shit. But of course you could talk all this shit about the Bible, talk all this shit about logic, perspectives, and get lost into your left motherfucking brain. But you cannot show me proof. You can't show me no photos. You can't show me no footage, no footage about what happened in the motherfucking past. All you could do is basically get lost into your fairy tale, motherfucker. Just like how you playing out this perspective as if this fucking fake ass coronavirus was real, motherfucker. All you telling me is that a Jesus Christ figure that you basically believe in, which is the corona, which is the crown, the chakra. You telling me this motherfucker is in the sky. You telling me this motherfucker is basically here to basically save you. You lost into illusion. You worshiping coronavirus like you worshiping Jesus Christ, motherfucker. No proof, no sight, no footage, no awareness, nigga. Of course, we all gotta. Of course, we all are capable of receiving coronavirus, which is corona is your mind. The virus is the mental virus. So whatever's on your mind, as in the mental virus, this is called spiritual warfare. Mentalities being destroyed, mentalities being conquered. So of course, if you're paying attention to shit like this, that's putting you in a low vibrational frequency. This is what you create in your motherfucking life. Your mind creates your reality. So until you know whatever's on your mind and your heart for 23 hours, is that's what you're creating upside there. And when of course something gets very heavy, it gets hallucinated. It starts to basically break down. It starts to come down and shit, reign into existence. So if you reign in hell into existence, if you living in motherfucking hell, that's your motherfucking fault. If you decide to allow somebody to put some shit on your mind, put some shit on your head, put some shit on your spirit, that's your motherfucking fault. That's your motherfucking fault. So you need to start taking spiritual responsible motherfucking abilities and get yourself out of that circumstance and situation. Because ain't no motherfucking Jesus Christ or Jesus figure is coming out that motherfucking sky to save your motherfucking ass. Ain't nobody out here looking for it and for you to basically saying, oh, you committed adultery, now you feeling guilty and shit. No, you stupid motherfucker. Your spirits, the cells in your body, which is your motherfucking daughter, your feelings and emotions, and of course, your motherfucking son, which is your mind. They are fucking, aka these are not actually your children, but these are like your men and your feelings and emotions as far as spirits. That's basically resonating with a certain path, a certain frequency. They coming together, you're creating. So whatever's on your mind is what you create. Teamwork make the motherfucking dream work. So motherfucker, if you in hell, if you experiencing hell, low densities, that's your fault, that's your ass, and that's where you going, motherfucker. You ain't going to hell as to where you see, oh, a one place. No, you creating your own hell, as in your own place, your own jail cell. You about to basically create the key, put the locksmiths in that bitch, and you're gonna create these circumstances and situations to play out to your perspective. Don't get lost into what the motherfucking Bible tell you. If you truly know how to read the Bible and understand everything about astrology, numerology, and these perspectives, you will know what the Bible is actually telling you. And the Bible ain't telling you to get lost into what we doing or what these people did. The Bible is telling you this is what happens to people that follow their path and believe in themselves. That goes to show these pastors and shit and these preachers and shit, ain't nothing going on in their motherfucking life, because they out here stuck in a lower vibration, lower pattern, lost into the motherfucking psyche. And of course, they might not even have a psyche. They being possessed by other demons, other spirits, that's into other entities that's basically draining them shit. Because these entities can't come back down to existence. So what these entities doing, being that they in a bigger shape and form, these are like oversouls, demons. Of course, lost into the motherfucking pack. They want to come back here and experience, but they can't do that shit. So they gotta experience through you. And of course, they gotta drink you dry. That's why you feel drained. That's why you feel out of plaque. That's why you feel out of place and shit. Because you ain't got a place. You ain't got a fortunate step on. You ain't got your own idea. You ain't got your own concepts. You're following the pack. You're creating your pretty much worshiping the dead. You're trying to bring the dead back into the life. And of course, you're doing this shit. But of course, you're doing this shit in your world, in your living reality, by you worshiping certain deities, certain spells and rituals that you basically cast dependent upon yourself. And you creating these circumstances and situations in your motherfucking life. That's why your ass is always gonna keep burning in motherfucking hell until you get out of that motherfucking religious ass motherfucking program and follow your own motherfucking path, motherfucker. And of course, I know a lot of you gonna feel some way about this fucking video, but of course, this is what you're doing. This is what you're presenting. And that government that you're worshiping, that's governing your mental, governing your mind, is about to put that vaccine in your motherfucking arm, the mark of the motherfucking beast. Now get it the fuck right now, man. These are the same motherfuckers that's predicting this shit, but it's coming to existence because they run this shit.